everyone, and welcome to my podcast, On the Move with Margaret. And we really are on the move at the moment because I think most of you are in South Africa watching this. I'm in America at the moment, and Kerry's in New Zealand. So it really is an international podcast, this. And I'm so excited to have Kerry, who I've known for many, many years. And what I love about Kerry is that she's always looking to help other people. And it's just so amazing because she does it selflessly. She doesn't do it because she has to. She does it because she wants to. And I think that makes a huge difference. So Kerry's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and she will really tell you a lot of ways to improve your life. But the question is, will you take her lesson? Will you take heed of what she says? Most people listen to it, they know she's right, and they go back and do the same old thing and get sick all over again. So Kerry, thank you so much for being on my show tonight, and thank you for coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning from New Zealand. And start telling the story. Let's go way back to little Kerry growing up, very happy childhood, and take us from there through the trials and tribulations, finding your husband, being told you couldn't have children, and deciding that you're going to do something about this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Margaret. It's always such a pleasure talking with you. And I also love that we spread information, we spread, as much as what we can when we trying to teach people. So this is part of it. So thank you so much. So yes, growing up, I had a beautiful, happy childhood. I grew up in a very big family. In fact, I have 38 first cousins.
Wow,
and we all grew up in Durban. We all grew up in the same place. We all now all over the world.
Yeah.
But coming from such a big family, it was within me to have my own family. It's just like, we spend Christmases together and birthdays together and all the celebrations together. And it's kind of like, that's what I wanted because it was just such a beautiful childhood. And then, yes, I got to my mid-20s. Life was crazy busy. I opened up my first business. I was working 7 days a week. It was just really, a busy, hectic
What
time.
did you do? What did you actually? Because in those days we were nurses, teachers, or worked at the Building Society, which is what I did.
My very first business that I opened was a travel agency.
Oh, really?
I was 25 years old and was like, I want to travel the world. But if I open a travel agency, then I can travel the world.
Yes, how nice.
That was my thinking. But really stressful because I did have corporate clients. People asking, their luggage was getting lost and they were phoning me, and it was just, it was very stressful. And then I got to 28 years old where I had two specialists actually say to me that I would not be able to conceive children naturally. And you can imagine, coming from a big family, having this dream in my mind that I was going to have my own family, I was devastated. I was honestly devastated. I would walk along that Umhlanga promenade and I'd see families on the beach and I'd just cry. I just absolutely cry because it was just like, that was not going to be a reality for me at that time. So that's where my healing journey actually happened. And I dived in because the medical told me this. I went to the natural and I dived into studying so many different natural modalities, but everything I studied, I implemented. So it was really me studying, researching, and putting into action. And Margaret, it took me 4 years.
You see, nothing happens overnight. Everybody thinks I'm going to do this, it's going to happen instantly. It doesn't work, girls. You've got to keep at it.
And the 4 years was me discovering that there was physical issues going on in my body. There was emotional issues going on in my body. There was my mindset that I had to get right. There was the energetic of my cells. And along the way, I'd lost my faith as well.
Yes,
so it was me coming back to me and making sure that all aspects of my wellness were put back into balance. But I'm happy to say that after 4 years, I did conceive naturally. And today I have a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Wow, that's just amazing. So, to everybody out there who's really struggling to have children, and a lot of people are today, just know that you can do it, that you absolutely have to go out and do everything you can, and it will happen if it's meant to happen. So, yeah, that's just incredible. So, now tell us about the actual, let's go back to the physical. You've got to have that. I mean, sometimes you have to go to the doctor. I'm very anti doctors. I never want to go to the doctor, but sometimes you have to. But then you get onto the emotional side, and you've got to go into yourself and get your mindset right. So tell us about that. How did you take control of your mind? Because that's what I think everybody should be able to do, and very few people can do it. And even I struggle with it when I've got to take control of my mind over something really powerful. I really struggle with that.
Yeah, it was a lot of courses, by the way. So I did go into a lot of courses, but I think my biggest breakthrough came when, in my own head, I was telling myself that I wasn't happy with me. And so I feel that me being able to tell me that I love me was massive. It
Oh,
was
really?
massive. That
Yes,
for me was like, it took me a long time to be able to actually go through that. And so really just look at myself in the mirror and say, I actually love who's standing and reflecting there.
yes,
Because I, went through a stage where I didn't enjoy my own company. I didn't
yes,
enjoy being with me. And
yes,
so, to try and work around that, because what we tell ourselves is
yes.
often we don't even realize what we're saying to ourselves. We don't
Right.
even realize that we criticizing, we judging,
I'm
all.
terrible. I'm my own worst critic. I know that. I judge myself all the time. I criticize myself all the time. I think it's something that we do, and I don't know whether it's something that comes from the past. When we were growing up, my parents used to criticize me a lot, and they would never say when I'd done something right. They would always say when I'd done something wrong. If I came home with 98%, well, which two did you get wrong? So I think that's a lot of it with a lot of people. They were criticized as children, and I can still remember my mother saying to me, we were at a park, and I wanted my own way, and I shouted, and she said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And that came at me, and I felt that, and it took me a long time to get over that. I actually don't have to be ashamed of myself. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. So, it's really a lot of stuff that you've got to get over yourself to get ahead in life. And I think a lot of people, especially these girls watching now, are thinking to themselves, well, maybe that's part of me and how I have to get over myself. And that saying, I love you in the mirror, I know that I did it at work, and I could do it, and I was happy with it. It took me a while, I must be honest, but I could do it. And then so we had a mirror fridge at work, and I made everybody go up to the mirror fridge and say, I love you. And you know that they couldn't do it. The people could not get those words out of their mouths. It was just incredible.
It is incredible. And I think that's the basis of a lot. I mean, you're spending all this time with yourself.
Yeah.
You can't get away from
All
yourself.
day, every day.
And so the acceptance of where I was at the time, the acceptance of my body not functioning correctly, the acceptance of I was carrying some weight at the time, just the acceptance of who
Yeah,
I was in that moment was massive. Because
yeah,
from that point, then you can have your breakthroughs, then you
yes,
can move on. But it's just standing in that moment and going, actually, right now, as I am. And I mean, I go through this with clients, and I've got clients that sometimes it takes them months before they can actually say it. But also, what a really good idea is, some of my clients have taken photographs of themselves as a child
yeah.
and said it to them as a child.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, going back and going, actually, I loved that child. That child deserves love,
Yeah,
And so,
yeah,
really going back to looking at that picture of you as a
yeah,
child and saying, I
yeah,
love you at that stage, and then
yes.
moving through the decades after that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's absolutely incredible. But talk to us about mind power. Now, I've studied mind power, and I think you have too. How do you actually get your mind in gear to propel yourself forward rather than looking back all the time? You've got to keep propelling yourself forward in this life. And how do you change your mindset to say, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Margaret, I think it's constant work. I think we're never going to be finished with this journey of being the awareness is such a big thing. The awareness of knowing, am I thinking positively about myself, about the world
Yeah,
around me, about what I'm
yeah,
creating, or have I got a lot of negative internal talk
yes,
going on? And
yes,
so it's work every day. every day. But the more that you do it, the more it comes naturally.
Yeah.
So, I get up in the morning, I do a meditation. I am surrounded by positive people. I've made sure that who I am with and who I mix with is
Yeah.
actually, supporting my
Yeah.
mind,
Yes.
supporting, my lifestyle. So
Yeah.
I'm surrounding myself with people that are going to uplift my energy, not drain my
Yes.
energy.
Yeah.
Because if you're listening to the news, or you're reading newspapers, or you're going to places that are going to drain your energy, they're
Yeah.
draining your mind of you thinking positively about your life. And you create your life. Doesn't matter,
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
are or what you do. You are the creator of your life. So you've got to be like the gatekeeper of your mind. You've
Yeah.
really, and not let any of the stuff filter into your mind that is going to drain you, that is going to pull you down, going to pull that energy down. So I believe it's constant work. Doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 10 years or if you're just starting, just do it.
It's
Just
like
do
it's
it.
like losing weight. You can't just lose weight and then relax and then it just all comes back again.
Yeah.
You have to constantly work at it. I know because I constantly work at staying at the weight that I want to be, and then now trying to go down a bit. It's a mindset, and you've got to change your mind first. And I always tell people they'll be rich or poor in their mind first before they are rich or poor in life as well. So I think it's that mindset and actually training your mind. And with the law of momentum, the momentum keeps going. If you're in a negative mode, that it's a downhill spiral right down to nothing. But if you're in a positive mode and you can pick yourself up, it's the momentum carries you forward. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. And also, we have these brain waves. We have all these brain waves. We've got the theta brain waves, the alpha, the gamma,
Yeah.
the beta. But these brain
Yeah.
waves, they don't just stay in the head. They actually vibrate into the world.
Yes.
We are
Yeah.
bigger than just this physical body, because we've got energy, we've got frequency, our heart as well. Our heart is an electric magnetic organ. It's the
Yeah.
most magnetic organ in our body. So whatever
Yeah.
you feel, you attract. It's a
Yes.
magnet. It comes
Yeah.
back to you. But the brain as well. So whatever you're thinking is going out there
Mm.
into the world. And
Yeah.
so that's what you start attracting back to you, is what you're thinking.
Yes.
So, we've got to realize that we are energy beings. We are full of this, vibration. And so what are you thinking? You've got to protect those
Because
thoughts, because it's like a
what you
ripple that
think
comes
about,
back.
you bring about.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
tell us about you were in South Africa and then you decided we need an adventure and we're going to go to New Zealand. I know for myself, changing countries is really, really difficult, much more difficult than anybody could ever tell you. You think, oh, I'm going to go and have this lovely. I went on holiday. It was so nice. Everybody was nice. It was wonderful. Then you get, and reality hits and it's hard. Tell us about the transition from South Africa to New Zealand and how you managed it and how you decided to start your own business there and how that all came about.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy decision to make at all. And as far as away I am in New Zealand, Africa's in my heart. It's in my soul. It runs
Yes.
my blood. I don't think you can ever get it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but I always say, as long as I can go back and be in the bush for a while and
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
my people every now and again, like, fills my cup up. So yes, it's not an easy move at all. But I truly believe, and this is what I have seen from moving children across the world, is that to give them worldly experiences is phenomenal. What they have learned, and I know my kids could live anywhere in the world. Now that they've made one big leap, is like, you can make home anywhere, but you
Yeah.
really have to make an effort at making it home. You
Yes.
can't just go across the world and think that it's not going to work. You have to integrate yourself into the community, into the people, into the culture. Even though it's English speaking, it is totally different. It is
Yeah.
really totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And, the climate is different. The people are different. The housing is different. The society is different.
Yeah.
And I find that when I speak to people that have immigrated to Australia, to the UK, it doesn't matter what country it
Doesn't
is,
matter.
it doesn't matter. It's different. It's
Yeah.
different. So you've really got to, feel into that and embrace the change that you've made. And
Yeah.
once again, make the most of what you can do. And
Yeah.
so that's when I arrived here. It was a huge decision for me to go, actually, I can dive into my passion. I can
Yes.
recreate who I am. It's an
Yes.
opportunity to recreate
Yes.
who you are. Margaret, you are doing an estate agency. I mean, who did you think that when you were still in South Africa? Did you think you could actually do something different? And you know, so it
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
but there again, property was my passion. I was doing the work that I could do, and I loved my work, and I loved every minute of it. But I think, to work your passion is something completely different, and this is a passion of mine, and it is different. And as you know, I had to go back to school, age 74. So that was a tricky one as well. And I think this is what people don't realize. It really is tricky when you decide to change countries because, as you said, the people are so different. Here in America, even though they all speak English, it's a completely different culture. It's a completely different way of living. And you realize how fantastic South Africans are because we're so friendly and we're so approachable and we're so nice. And here they're very cliquey and they're scared of you because you might sue me if I do this, and oh my gosh, it's a whole different world. So I think people, those of you thinking of immigrating, it is really, really difficult. I mean, it is unbelievably difficult. But you went and you are I'm going to start a business now, but you started a business and you had to build your clientele up from zero. And
yeah,
that's been a challenge as well, but you've
yeah,
managed and now you've got a thriving practice. So tell
yeah.
us about that. How did that work?
Yeah, I often say to people, coming into a brand new country where I knew nobody, I had no database, there's no
Yeah,
network. You've got to make it
yeah,
on your own. You've really got
yeah.
to make it on your own. And I think the determination, really of making a go of what I wanted to do. I think that just kept me going day by day by day. And it was kind of like, well, this is it. I've got to make this work. I've got to make this work.
Yes,
So yes, I went to networking meetings. I started doing the real basis of, just putting yourself out there.
yeah.
I'm not a big social media person. And every time I put myself up and then you get a little bit self-conscious and you pull yourself back again and then you put yourself up again. So it's really about, just keep doing it and keep going for it. But Margaret, my first year of business was phenomenal. And
Oh, really?
every year thereafter has just grown and grown and grown. And so,
Yeah.
it's what you make of it. It really, for
Yes.
me, it's like what you put
Yes.
in is what you get out. And
Yeah.
I managed to get, international contacts. I managed to, become a Mind Valley coach. I ended up being the head coach for WildFit on the Mind Valley platform, which
Yeah.
means,
Yeah.
and this was all during lockdown as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
people are locked
Yeah.
down, and my business was expanding internationally like I couldn't believe. And it really was because I just kept doing the work. I just kept going for it. Every opportunity that came by, and most of the time I had to make my own opportunities. You've got to open those own doors.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, my association and my work that I've done with Mind Valley has been phenomenal. And last year I was in Amsterdam on their stage, just speaking to an audience in person for the first time in 6 years. I think I've worked for them. So it really is. I didn't just confine myself to the New Zealand, customer base.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely, looked at, okay, what can I do worldwide? I think that was a big transition for me as well, because I realized that, your customers could be anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Depending on what business you're in. But yes, I still to this day, I'll go to those networking meetings because, just connecting with local
Yes.
women, it's actually a women's
Yes.
networking business that I
Yeah.
now belong to, but just
Yeah.
connecting with the local women really feeds my soul.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
absolutely. Oh, no, I agree. I love
yeah,
women's groups. In fact, I started a women's group here. In fact, we've got a meeting next Thursday night. And I think it's, to be with women, to feed off their energy, they feed off your energy, and they literally fill your cup. But now, tell me a bit about WildFit. Let's talk about WildFit first, because we both went into WildFit. You went in first and I went in second. I didn't go in as much as you. But tell me how you met Eric and how you came to be a WildFit coach. Because first, before we go into Mind Valley coach, yeah, let's talk
yes,
about
yeah.
WildFit.
Well, I actually met Eric and WildFit through Mind Valley. So
Did you? Oh,
I
okay. I
did.
didn't. Yeah.
Mind Valley offered WildFit on their platform. And with me always being in the health game and always looking at how do I improve, what do I need to do, I went in there with a lot of curiosity. I didn't go in there because at that stage it was like I wasn't looking at releasing any weight. I was just looking for information. I was looking for what else could I learn. And WildFit is a phenomenal learning platform, but an incredible life transformational platform as far as your health goes. And so, you know, when I was, if I go back now to my childhood, I was 13 years old when I was actually put into a solid back brace because of my scoliosis. So I have lived my life with chronic back pain. And then when I did WildFit, I think I was in my early 40s when I did WildFit. That was the first time in my life my chronic back pain totally disappeared. Like totally different, it disappeared, which meant I could wear high heel shoes because I couldn't wear high heel shoes before then. You know, and just so there were so many things that actually changed in my life after chronic back pain disappeared. And that's when I had that experience, it's like, okay, Eric's onto something here. Eric
and that's just changing your diet. So you changed nothing else, just your diet. Just
nothing
what you put in your mouth, literally, girls. Yeah.
That's exactly it. I changed what I ate, and that just transformed everything. So yes, so I became a certified WildFit coach. I then went on to becoming a master WildFit coach. And then I went on to obviously coaching WildFit in the Mind Valley platform, and then becoming the head coach for WildFit on the Mind Valley platform. So really that's been my journey, but it's you know, Eric has now changed it. It's not WildFit anymore. It's Wilder Body. So
really? I didn't even know that.
So he's upgraded his videos. He's done some more videos with some more information, and it's now called Wilder Body. But it really is, although WildFit is still on the Mind Valley platform, but it really is, it's 12 weeks for you to really dive in and make a massive, massive change to your physical, you know, well-being, which is phenomenal.
And I think any of the girls out there having physical challenges at the moment with their body, with all different things, and girls, we all go through a lot. We go through the menopause, we go through all sorts of different things. If you're not happy with your body and your life at the moment, just do WildFit. It's 12 weeks and it will transform your life. But it's not something you can do and then stop. And I think this is the thing that I want to get through to everybody. Any of these things we talk about, you've got to do, and you've got to continue doing, because if you don't continue doing, it doesn't continue working. It'll take you 12 weeks to get there, but you could go back like that if you just stop doing it. So I think that's it. But for the people who don't know and don't follow Vishen Lankani from Mind Valley, tell us about that journey and how amazing it was to have like-minded people, because so many of us have got these ideas, you know, we like the way we live, we know we've got to eat properly, we do our meditations and all those type of things, but to be with like-minded people all the time, because often I go out to people and I start talking about meditation and they say, woo, keep away from her, you know, and then you speak to other people and you talk about, you know, your body and your health, and they say, oh, I'm really not interested, you know, and then you talk to other people and they're all different, but at Mind Valley, I just feel that everybody's on the same wavelength, and that just makes it so much better.
Yeah, it was incredible because I was actually invited to speak on the stage about my program, not WildFit, which was really cool. So my program is my company is Sneedon, and the program is Thriveology, and the reason why I put that together is because mine is more physical, mental, emotional, energetic. So I'm looking at all of it because of my own journey that I've been on. But to stand on a stage and have, you know, there was at least 1,000 people at the
and
conference.
They were all absolute experts in their own field. So you really have to be sure of yourself if you're going to stand. They're all experts. They all know it all. They've all read all the books. They've done all the doings. And there you are. It was just incredible. I watched you. It was amazing.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. It was just it was one of those things that I, you know, that you dream about doing. That, you know, you're going to stand on an international stage with thousands of people. And it was like, I did it. But it was, but the energy, like you said, the energy of people that are all into self-development. And that's what I loved. You know, not all of them were into health, but they were all into self-development. So they were all doing something about their mindset,
Mhm.
about their businesses, about their
Yeah.
health, about their
Yeah.
wealth, about,
Yes.
so it's just so beautiful to have that energy around
Yeah.
that
Yes.
everybody, and this is what I feel sometimes when I'm sitting with even the group of ladies that I'm in contact with it's
Mm.
actually the New Zealand business group of ladies. It's all like-minded people that are looking to grow their businesses,
Yes.
expand their knowledge, just
Grow
take a deep
themselves as
grow
people.
themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it is.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
self-development work
Mm.
every day. Every day,
Yes.
like you said, it's not I'm going to do this today and then stop doing it. It's like, what can I do and implement every day? And I think that's what often I talk to my clients about. It's more about habit stacking, because
Yeah.
life is stressful. Like, life is
Yeah.
busy, but
Yeah.
you've got to actually understand that you don't have to do more in order to be more. You can actually do less, but it's what you're
Yes.
focusing on. And
Yes.
that's, you can get a lot more done. Yeah.
And as you said, the whole thing is to get rid of the clutter, so all the negativity. Clutter is negativity to me. And if you get rid of all of that, then you just leave space for the good stuff to come in. So now tell us about your practice and the people that come to you. I mean, they come from all over the world. They come in person, they come over Zoom, and they come to you with a problem. And then you've got to sort of almost take the layers of the onion out to find the core of that problem, because what they think is the problem often isn't. The overweightness, the smoking, the drinking, all that type of thing. That isn't the core of the problem. That's the end result. But how do you take those layers off? And to somebody who doesn't not into all this and who's watching, how would you get them to strip those layers off to find the absolute core of the problem?
Yeah, I'm always looking at root cause. That's what I'm going for. I'm always looking at root cause, because there's always something underlying. So the first thing, in my clinic and in my daily business, when I do an assessment on somebody, a health assessment, I do use some real frequency tools. It's scientific resonance tools that I use in order to get down into cellular level. But just to give you an example, I had this chap in Canada who had a shoulder injury. And he was a sportsman, but a really bad shoulder injury. He just he did everything to try. He had a couple of operations. He did the stem cell treatment. He did everything, and his shoulder was still sore. It was still sore. And then when I sat and I went through his full assessment with him, and same thing, I peeled back layers and layers and layers. Look at what we have to get to the root cause. I had a look and I said to him, his liver and his gallbladder were not in a good state at all. Like,
Oh my God.
and he was like, well, what's that got to do with my shoulder? And I'm going, well, that's the energy lines that run from your liver to, your liver gallbladder up the right side of your body. There's blockages there, and it's causing the pain. And so, for me, it's a matter of, let's put him on a liver cleanse, but not a quick fix 24-hour thing. It's like
Yeah.
your body needs a chance to readjust.
Yeah.
So the process I did, and it took 16 weeks. The process was blood cleansing, liver cleansing, then getting rid of the toxins. And the toxins, I mean, our livers actually have to filter 700,000 toxins per day.
My gosh.
Per
Who
day.
knew?
That's what we're exposed to. We're exposed through food, we're exposed through water, through our air quality, through our products that we put on ourselves, the clothes that we're wearing. Everything around us could have chemicals in it. And so that liver is the one organ that is overworked, in my opinion, with a lot of people. So that actually has a ripple effect throughout the body that sometimes creates symptoms that are not related to the actual symptom itself.
Yeah.
So I never look at the symptom. I always go, there's something else. There's something else. And where's the
Yeah.
trigger? And
Yeah.
so finding out where the trigger was, clearing out, the toxins out of the body, which some of the time through the equipment that I use, I find parasites, I find bacteria, I find metals, viruses that are underlying in your system. So all of those things need different protocols in order to put
Yeah.
those back into balance. So
Sure.
it really is looking at the whole lot and getting deep into the cells. And when you get to that cellular level and you can
Yeah.
work from a cellular level, well, then you
Yes.
get results. Then you truly get
Absolutely.
results. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, talk to me about belly fat. So many people have belly fat, and that belly, if you've got belly fat, you've obviously got fat around your liver. And if you've got fat around your liver, it can't work properly. And it's to me, it's the filter that cleans everything out in your body. So, talk to me about the people that have got belly fat. And there's so many kind of things come out. Drink olive oil before you go to bed. Have some apple cider vinegar. All these weird and wonderful things. What do you think is real news, and what's fake about cleaning your liver and cleaning your
Well,
belly fat?
Well, when I look at belly fat, the first thing, that because there are some women walking around with belly fat that hardly eat anything.
Yeah.
They really don't eat much at all. And they're going, how have I got this excess weight? The first thing that you've got to realize is that when there are digestive organs that are overworking, so the liver overworks, the intestines overwork, the stomach overworks, the pancreas overworks. There's these organs that are overworking because of the amount of toxins that we're exposed to. When that happens, they don't feel safe. When they don't feel safe, they build a protection layer. So your body goes into protection. And so this protection layer comes around the gut area because there's so many toxins coming in. And so now the body is actually doing what the body needs to do. It's protecting. It's protecting. But if we unpack that a layer deeper, when we have stressful lifestyles and we have a lot of cortisol running through our body, the cortisol is a chemical that disrupts the hormones, which are also chemicals. So now you've got a biochemical imbalance, which actually, once again, the message going through to the body is, I'm not safe because I've got this chronic stress going on, and the chronic stress is going on and affecting the hormones, and the liver, believe it or not, is really responsible for converting the hormones that the thyroid produces. So a lot of women go, well, it's my thyroid. My thyroid's out of balance. My metabolism's out of balance. And so that's why I'm carrying weight. But let's get to the root cause of that. And it could be that there's a lot of stress coming in. The body doesn't feel safe. The chemicals are imbalanced and the digestive system is overworking. So yes, multiple things there. But once we can actually start with one thing at a time. I also say to people, if you do a really quick liver cleanse or trying to get rid of pathogens in your body too quickly, you can get to do a detox overload. And it's an overwhelm for the body and you feel worse. You don't feel better. You feel worse. So you've got to watch how much detoxing you do and do it at a pace where your body can actually handle it. So like you said, Margaret, it's not, a one day overnight fix.
So let's talk now about intermittent fasting.
Yeah. So first of all, I love fasting because I truly believe we all eat too much. So I'm a big advocate for fasting. But once again, I do feel specifically women can do fasting a little bit backwards, if I can put it that way, because a lot of women who are trying to release weight, they wake up in the morning, they don't have breakfast, they go straight into the day. And often if they haven't trained their body to do that, their body could go into a little bit of storage mode, because when you think about it, you switch the brain on first thing. Once the brain's on, you switch the body on. You need the muscles, even if it is just to go to the bathroom. It's like you're utilizing your muscles, you're moving your body. So the brain is on, the body is on. But what fuel do you have in your system? And if you don't have the right nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, and you are not eating breakfast, the body will stall. It will definitely go into storage mode. So what I say to my women, when you start out to do intermittent fasting, it's a really good idea to start having breakfast and lunch. And breakfast could be at like 9, 10 o'clock, and lunch could be at 3 o'clock. But don't eat late. Don't eat at 9 o'clock at night, because at 9 o'clock at night, your human growth hormone kicks in and your body is going into recharge, recover, reset mode. And then you've still got food to digest at nighttime. So you can't be digesting food when your body is repairing, when your body is needing to restore. So that digestion needs to have already happened. So it's definitely important for us to do early digestion during the day, and then have more time at nighttime for us to go into repair work. And that's what I truly, truly believe is the best way to actually work with intermittent fasting. But then there's also 24-hour fasting and juice fasting and smoothie fasting.
Well, I was going to go on and now tell me about the 3-day water fast. I've done it. It was very difficult because I love my food. I live for food. So, yeah, tell us about that. How good is that?
Yeah, I love a prolonged fast, because what happens then is your body moves into what we call autophagy. And autophagy is the natural way that your body gets rid of old dead cells. But when you're fasting, it means that the body can accelerate the autophagy in your system. So the longer you fast, the more old dead cells your body can actually remove. And so I always find that, first of all, I love 36 hours. 36-hour fasting, for me, is easy. You can do it very regularly. 36-hour fast you can do once a week. It's not difficult for the body to handle. That's what I'm saying. It's really, it's really easeful. And just to give your body a total rest is absolutely awesome. If you're going to do a 72-hour fast, I would recommend do that only once a month. And really it is looking at the body from a point of view of, I want to have the autophagy. I want to do more autophagy. I want to have more stem cell strengthening that happens. I want to go into ketosis. I want to flush out everything in my body. Now, you've got to prepare for a 3-day fast. You've got to make sure that you are full of nutrients. You've got to have enough of the good stuff. So I would never recommend a 3-day fast if you have had refined sugars, grains, dairy, acidity, caffeine. If you've put a lot of stuff into your body, you cannot go into a 3-day fast. Your body won't handle it. And it's, it's not healthy for you.
You just feel terrible.
Correct. So prepare for the fast, and then also prepare coming out of the fast, because once you've done 72 hours of water only, and when I do a 72-hour fast, I'm drinking 5 liters of water a day.
Wow.
So you don't do minimum. You go for it and you hydrate. So at least 5 liters of water a day. And then as you're coming out of the fast, prepare for those days to have small meals. Don't come out of the fast and go, oh, now I need to fill the body.
Look, I'm going to eat.
Yeah, just gently, because you got to remember that your stomach is the size of your fist. So if you are fasting, the stomach is going to readjust. It's going to go back down to the size of your fist. And then also you're going to be able to have small meals coming out so that you don't overwhelm the digestive system, so that your body can still carry the momentum of the fasting that you've done. Yeah.
But so Kerry, tell me now, your practice is going well. You're talking for Mind Valley. What have you got planned for the future?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited, because I feel like there's more and more, and with your health and your wellness, it just never ends. There's so much to do. But I've got actually a free seminar which is all about, because I'm getting more and more passionate about women and how women are suffering through menopause. And so I'm going, you don't have to suffer through menopause. I've been through menopause. You really don't have to suffer through menopause.
Yeah.
And so the seminar is all about the biochemicals in your system, and just, educating people on what actually happens when there's an imbalance due to chronic stress, and how we can actually put our body back into balance. So yes, my Thriveology program is tailor-made for exactly that. It's a 16-week program where I take people on a journey through physical, mental, emotional, and energetic well-being. So you do get meal plans, nutritional plans, recipes are absolutely stunning and beautiful, and you do get to implement actions in order to make a whole, basically a transformation to your well-being completely. But I'm also working on putting a lot of my information online so that you can actually have online access to my programs, so that it becomes easier and more affordable. So that's one thing. And then I am training an amazing group of practitioners and coaches, including 2 doctors, one from South Africa and one from the UK. And the training is all around energetic healing. So how do we get to that root cause? How do we make sure that we are actually unpacking and unraveling the layers to really look deep, so that you can you can absolutely not have the symptoms, because once you've dealt with the root cause, the symptoms disappear anyway.
But
So yeah.
don't you think that it's all about what do we want? Why do we do all this? Well, we want to be happy, and to actually go out and be happy and have fun. And I think that's a big thing today. Now, talk to me about loneliness, because they say so many people are lonely today. They've got no friends. Their friends, the kids have grown up. Their friends have gone away. They've moved. People have moved away. How can we reconnect with other people? But first of all, you've got to sort yourself out first. You've got to get yourself right, and then you reconnect with other people. How does one sitting at home now saying, well, it's all very well for them, they're all over the show, but it's me, I'm just sitting at home. I got my friends have all moved away, my family's grown up. What do I do with myself all day? And how do I get that energy back that I can go out and have fun?
Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with you. Life is for having fun. Life is for having experiences. The more experiences that you can have, and you've got to be healthy to have those experiences.
You have to be able to walk and get around. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want those muscle aches and pains when you get out of bed.
Yeah.
You want to be able to jump out of bed. So, so many of the people that I go through and I coach, they come back to me and they go, even though I'm alone, I'm not lonely. So I think there's a big difference there. And the reason why you're not lonely is because you've done the work internally. You've done the self-development work. You've actually put in the action. You've changed the mindset. You've changed the way you feel about yourself, that you're not lonely. I a couple of years ago was separated from my husband. In fact, he went back to South Africa because he just loved it too much.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It was like, well, am I going to sit across the world here and be lonely? And I'm definitely not. I've got a beautiful life that I have created around me. And I always say to people, I absolutely love my life. I'm still looking for a really good companion, but I love my life. So I think at this age and stage, we've got a little bit fussy. So I think that's the reason. But it is about enjoying yourself and putting yourself into situations where you're going to have the fun and you're going to have a really good experience. So personally, I have joined a paddle club, and it's similar to pickleball. But Margaret, what I just love about it is that I feel I'm walking my talk. I feel like at 56 years old, I can get on that court with 26-year-olds, which are incredibly good players. And this last 2 weekends ago, I played with A-grade players, and they were in their 20s and 30s. I was like blown away. I'm keeping up with them. But you know what it is? I'm having so much fun. I am enjoying my life, and it's because my body is able to do those things. I've managed to create a body that is able to keep up with the 20 and 30-year-olds running around a court for hours on end.
Yes.
Hours. So how are you going to create the fun in your life? For me, it's going back to your health. Like really creating a good, healthy body in order for you to have that lifestyle. Yeah.
And then also, if you're playing paddle, you're fit enough to play it. We play pickleball over here. Then you get out, you meet different people, you have the fun, the excitement, and you interact. And I really think we need to interact with other people a lot, because after COVID, a lot of us are working from home. We're staying at home all day. Like I don't have to go to work if I don't want to. So sometimes I don't. But then I need to go, because then I need to be with people. I need to get that energy back and going again. So I think everybody has to work on having fun. What's fun for one person is not fun for another. So I think it's just to decide what you're going to do and have fun. But for me, as you say, you're 56 now. You don't wear oodles of makeup like I do. You don't have Botox and all those things. Tell us about your makeup regime.
This is it. So I in my studies, when I was diving into doing some healing on myself, I also I became a therapeutic aromatherapist. So I studied essential oils and carrier oils and all the herbs that go into the oils. And so, Margaret, from that stage, so that's nearly 30 years ago. I can't believe it. It's nearly
Yeah.
30 years ago. But I started putting those oils and creams onto my face. I started making my own, and for me, that just served me really, really well. So the same thing, I make my own suntan lotions. I do my own, and I love being out in like outdoors in the sun, in their exposure. Um, I do my own anti-wrinkle stuff. So yes, I haven't done the Botox thing. I haven't done any of that. But for me, it's putting natural things onto my body and natural foods into my body. So I'm
Yeah.
always putting, the living foods into my body, and and doing as natural as possible. Yeah.
We spend so much time surviving, though, that you go and you do your meditation, you do your food, you do that. It's a lot of it's just in surviving. How much time do you actually take to, just sometimes it's just good to just get away and do something completely different. I love traveling, so I travel, and people say, "Oh, you must be mad." Somebody says to me, how much longer are you going to drag your poor old husband around the world? Well, he'll be 80 next year. So I said, as long as I possibly can. To the people out there saying, but it seems, I'm exhausted just talking to you. How am I going to cope with this? What are you going to say to them?
Yeah. Well,
What's the
first of
alternatives?
all, first of all, I do think that we can live longer than what we think we can.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually making yourself well enough to live
Yes.
a good quality lifestyle.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
want that good quality lifestyle, and that's really getting the right balance for your life. And for me, it's the same. The minute that there is a lot of work coming in and I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I'm out in nature. I go for my beach walk. I go for my walk in the nature reserve. It's like, it's for me, it helps calm the system down. It
Yeah.
helps calm me down so that I
Yeah.
actually can do more. So
Yeah.
the minute that I'm operating from a calmer point of view, I am able to just function and be more productive than ever. So yeah, I think, Margaret, it is about, understanding that this body of ours, this physical body, can do more, and we've just got to treat it in the right way and start listening to what the body is communicating. The body has an intelligence. It's got this intelligence, and we need to tune in because it's always communicating with us. It's
Yeah.
always communicating. But have we been listening? So your communication is about, I'm traveling the world and I want to be fit enough to travel the world, and you absolutely can. I truly, truly feel on average, we should be living to about 120. That's what
Yeah.
we should be living to. That's
Yeah.
personally, what I'm aiming at.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can get there, and we don't have to have the aches and pains. We don't have to have the short-term memory issues.
Yeah.
We actually can get there very clear. And the science around today, like there's so much that we have got that is on our side that can make us live longer, but we've got to take action. We've got to put the right things in place. And so I feel like I use the science to get to the root cause, but then I use nature and the natural things to put me back
Yes.
into balance. And
Yeah.
so, that's the way that I've utilized science with the combination of nature in order for us to actually have the energy to live the experiences that we want to live.
Now you are living with two 20-year-olds, so yeah, and I know with my grandsons are nearly 20. My eldest grandson's 18 already. I just find that they've got so much energy, but they have a different outlook on life completely. It's completely different from our outlook on life. Tell us about how you manage those two, or how they manage you. Who manages who?
Well, they often say to me, my active lifestyle has so rubbed off on them because they do multiple things, and it's actually so exciting. It's so exciting. My son is an entrepreneur, but he does probably about 3 different businesses at this stage, and loves his sport as well. So he's on that paddle court all the time. He's a real
Yeah.
real top player. Um,
Yeah.
my daughter is studying at university. She has 2 jobs, and she is moving towards becoming a professional athlete as well. She
Wow.
runs with the Olympic sprinters here in New
Oh
Zealand.
my gosh.
So she put so much time and effort into her training, but she's also got time for her studying, and she's got time to work. So yes, I think it's my love of life,
Yeah.
and just encouraging them to take advantage of being young, and
Yes.
and really what are the opportunities that are coming their way,
Yeah.
and they grab them. In fact, both of them are traveling. My daughter leaves at the end of April now. She goes to the States. My son and his girlfriend are leaving in May. They're going to spend 3 weeks in the Kruger National Park. So they are traveling the world,
Yeah.
living the best life possible, and doing multiple things. And I think kids of today have got opportunities that they can
Yes.
really take advantage of. And so
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
always encouraging them to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think today you can't, it's just not like the old days where you had one little job and that was all you did. Everything's expanding so much. And now with AI, I'm taking lessons on AI as well. And it's just incredible what you can do. So you just think, oh my goodness, where is this ever going to end? But, yeah, we watched the rocket go up into the moon the other day, and it's going around the moon at the moment. So, yeah, life is very good and very exciting. But Kerry, thank you so much for all that you do for all of the people that you do right around the world. And I don't think you even grasp how fantastic it is. That the work that you're actually doing and how many people's lives you impact and make it really, really positive. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, it's just been incredible chatting to you. I hope all the ladies have enjoyed it as well. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. It's just amazing. And you're helping everybody to have the best life. And while you're doing it, you're helping yourself to have the best life as well. They always say you expand by growing others. And that's exactly what you're doing. So just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much. It's been lovely, lovely chatting to you. I can't wait to see what your next adventure is. And I hope you're going to come and stay with me in the States at some time. So
Yeah, thank
fantastic.
you,
Thanks.
Margaret.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure chatting with you. And yeah, let's keep putting as much information out there into the world, and
Yeah.
serving as much people as possible. Because
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to this channel and you'll be in line to see so many more podcasts from so many exciting, interesting, and fabulous women. All the women that I interview are women who inspire me to do greater things. So, I'm hoping that they'll inspire you to be the best you that you can possibly be. Thank you.